And you've got to first, you've got to get mad. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it! My life has value. And you've got to that freedom ring.
Every time you buy something or don't,
Wiki World Order.
you're casting a vote.
Welcome, friends, to Episode 1, Definition, the Wiki World Order. We are stuck in a truly epic saga between good and evil, but almost all sides believe they work for some greater good. So I'm searching for perspectives beyond what we know, and fresh chess moves on the grand board. I'm generally trying to avoid one-dimensional analysis where discussions get a severe bipolar disorder. Nonetheless, these battles might best be reduced to transparency against secrecy. Many of us see the true beauty in all of humanity and want to minimize oppression, while unlocking and unleashing the inner passion and genius inside of each and every one of us. But very clearly, there exist those who consciously seek to mold humans into sheeple, even cattle, treating the masses with great contempt, both publicly and privately, both with words and laws. Open source software is really built by communities of end users, so in a long enough timescale, these solutions better meet the needs of those end users. And they're also not built to break a few months after the warranty expires. The bottom-up collaboration humans have achieved with Wikipedia alone is wildly impressive. But this is only the first step. I want to see every industry start trending much faster towards open source domination. You might have seen some TED Talks, where many very powerful solutions are presented to some of the world's most urgent problems. One key way I envision us surviving here is if some of those technologies of a certain societal significance are not made patentable, but instead made free for reuse and remix under open source or Creative Commons licensing. Such open source blueprints will be translated into languages and materials of people around the world. We urgently need to replace greed with collaboration for sustainable energy, food, and water technologies. These will all inevitably be issues of life and death for our species on this planet, or anywhere we travel. So screw trinket capitalism, boycott it, and why build up a police state instead of preventing these inevitable crises? Let's replace the CIA and privatize corporate intelligence with open source intelligence. Oh, and did I ask you who killed the electric car? Oh. Who killed the electric car? Would the electric car have been killed in an open source paradigm? I don't think so. I'll discuss this in an upcoming episode in a thought experiment posing. What if we had British Petroleum and General Motors give up any and all intellectual property rights related to alternative energy creation, storage, and usage, and then re-released it under some kind of open source Creative Commons license? Don't they both owe us enough? We do not go along with solutions A or B, both promoted, bought, and paid for by the same set of corporate interests with the most to hide or gain. Campaign finance reform is an absolute linchpin, which could open up countless legislative avenues for us. But the Supreme Court sure hasn't been helping there. Therefore, we really need to step it up and start focusing more on voting daily with our dollars to defund the mega corporations which own all of our governments. At this point in my studies, the only solutions I can consistently support are open source solutions, and solutions which increase transparency. It is for this reason that I'm naming this growing counterforce to tyranny the Wiki World Order. Infinitely boosted by the internet, this global movement has already taught me so much, collaboratively shedding light on the darkest of blind spots, and promoting solutions from the bottom up. But my time and perspective cannot report on this progress alone. It is collaborative by definition. So just in case any of you out there want to start a little web-based show on related issues, you are free to reuse and remix my episode template, graphics, and music. Please see the link in the video notes. Anyone can upload their own reports to YouTube and email the link for the video and or podcast or blog or transcript to reports@wikiworldorder.com. And I will be happy to repost all your work at wikiworldorder.com. I welcome you to this experiment, and a huge thank you in advance to anyone who takes me up on this offer, or even lends their ear to this Morgan's random ideas.
Suppose you're in the 18th century.
But to avoid getting too heavy in my first episode, I will leave you with these quotes used in the theme song playing in the background, and you've got to let freedom ring, which is based on some of my favorite tasty beats by Alex Gopher, Demon, and Square Pusher. Because the alternative is too bleak, we will remain optimistic and envision the win as we make it happen together. Please be the change you want to see in the world.
Should you be
Thank you.
There's a time when the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire,
LeBron James is moving to Florida.
let freedom ring.
I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Well, up next on World Business Today, you may not have heard of it, but some say Bilderberg is secretly trying to take over the world. We're trying to find out why some of the biggest names in business and politics are currently meeting very discreetly in Germany.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society.
In other news, LeBron James is moving to Florida to play for the Miami Heat, and that fact will not affect your life in any way.
So of the various kinds of state capitalism that are around, which are the best? I don't honestly think that's the kind of question we should be asking. Like in the suppose you're in the 18th century, should you be asking which is the best kind of feudalism? I mean, that's all there was, you know. So which is the best kind of feudalism and slavery and monarchy and so on and so forth? It just wasn't the right question. I mean, the right question is there something better, like, say, parliamentary democracy, even though there were no examples of it.
But today we might better look at geopolitics of the world as the same globe with roughly 200 countries and huge clouds drifting around it, knowing no national borders, following no specific sets of laws. These are the big corporations. They strike deals with the Chinese and the Taiwanese and the Tibetans and the Israelis and the Arab nations. They strike deals with anybody who has resources or markets that they covet. And they have really taken over the planet. They are calling the shots. Wherever you go, the big corporations are calling the shots. Make no mistake about it. And the good news is that the big corporations are totally dependent on you or your tax dollars to buy their goods and services. They can't survive without you. And the marketplace is democratic if we only choose to make it such.
In other news, LeBron James is moving to Florida to play for the Miami Heat, and that fact will not affect your life in any way.
You know, the most important thing that you can do is to follow your passion,